If you want to hear my answers to the Truthful YouTuber TAG questions, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and this is another tag video. I have been in the mood to film a few of these lately, and this is another one. This is the Truthful YouTuber TAG, and this is a tag created by Mel Thompson. I will put her channel right there, and her tag video as well, so that you can take a look, probably the tag video down below. The whole point being that it is a tag that I've been aware of for some time, but it scares me, and it probably means it's a good one to do. And it scares me just because it feels like opening up the kimono a little bit on my thoughts and my behavior, and that as a YouTuber, not just as a YouTube viewer and subscriber. I've done that tag. If you want to see that tag, I'll put it right here as well. Okay. So the questions, there are 16 questions in total, and let's just start with number 1. I've read through some of them, but not all of them, and as is usual for tag videos, I did not prepare my answers in advance, so we can just see what my answers would be. Okay, let's start with question number 1. Have I ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Well, the answer is very easy for me. It's going to be no, because I'm not getting any kind of gratis or any kind of subsidized products through gifts from brands and whatnot. I don't get those. Products that I have received from stores and whatnot unexpectedly, I have reviewed. I did one just recently of products from Shoppers Drug Mart. That was not a problem. I did that. I reviewed it, no problem. I can say, though, that my attitude towards products that I would receive is that if brands watch my channel, I have no problem saying what I like and what I don't like, even of brands that I absolutely love. And that if any brand were to send me anything, that they would have to understand that I will say what I think of the various products, whether I purchase them or receive them as PR. It's just the way it is. And as a matter of fact, the funny thing is as I'm filming this today, I got my first offer of product, an offer of from a company to send me some products. So that I thought that was ironic that I was filming this tag today, and I got my first offer by email today. Not sure what I'm going to answer, but I just thought it was an interesting coincidence. Question number 2. Product I use alone but don't show or use online. The only thing I can think of is hair removal. Like, for example, I do wax my peach fuzz, and it's in major need right now. But I do wax my peach fuzz, and I haven't really shown that online. And I do consider it a beauty product because by removing my peach fuzz, I get much better, the powder applies better, the foundation applies better, and that kind of thing. So it's something that I do, but I don't necessarily show it. If you are curious to see like a hair removal video for what I do with my face, please let me know in the comments below. I have no problem doing that. It's just not something that I do. But as far as any other product, I'm pretty sure I show everything. I can't think of anything else. Oh, maybe the La Neige sleeping mask. Lip sleeping mask. I don't show that on camera, but I use it every night. And all my night creams and stuff, I don't. It's very rare that I show application on camera. I may talk about it, I may show it, but I don't necessarily use it on camera, if that makes sense. But I think those are secondary. So yeah, probably the lip sleeping mask and the wax strips I don't show. I think that's it. Number 3. Products you want but won't buy because you don't support the brand. Ooh. You know what? There are a number that I'm just not sure about. I have some products from Kat Von D. I have some products from, who else is problematic that I'm not showing? I'm not really buying anything from Jeffree Star or Lime Crime. I think that's about it. But you know, I do have some Kat Von D. I do use it, and I'm kind of rethinking that whole thing about the cancel culture, and I'm thinking of starting to use those products more. You'll see more about that if you look at my midway know by year update, which is going to be coming out in about 30 days. I'll have more on that topic at that time. Yeah, I'm more about the makeup than the drama behind the makeup, and frankly, almost all makeup brands are problematic if you dig deep enough. Not all, I'm not talking about indie brands, but like larger companies have there's a lot of baggage under the covers, and I just feel like we're playing ostrich a little bit by picking on some and ignoring or not digging into other brands. So I'm just not sure. Like I said, I'm rethinking cancel culture, and I don't think I've landed 100%, so maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but I just think I want to be here about the makeup, and I don't want to be a social activist, at least not right now in where I'm at and what I want to do with makeup. Okay, number 4. Do you have any blocked words? I do. I have a handful of the nasty words that I do not want anybody to be using on my channel. So just a handful of those. I'm sure you can guess what the short list is. And yeah, I don't want really crappy behavior showing up in the comments, because I think it makes everybody, you and me, feel bad. And I don't want this channel to be a place with that fosters negativity and meanness. And so yeah, I do block some words just because I want niceness. I want niceness, and I want civility. I want civility on this channel. So yeah, I will block lack of civility, if that makes sense. Number 5, do I delete comments, and why? Yes, I delete comments. I delete comments when it is obvious that they are intended to be mean or degrading to the recipient. I will not have hate on this channel, and anytime I sniff it, it is deleted. And it's my backyard, and I will do with it what I please. And so if anyone is nasty or belligerent, I will delete their comment. Again, my backyard. And you know what? My gauge for that is, would I do or say something like that on somebody else's channel? If my answer is no, then it doesn't belong here either. Number 7, have I ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with a brand? Well, very much like, number 1, I don't have to deal with that. I don't receive anything except for stuff that I would receive from a store that anyone else could receive from a store. I don't have that issue, so I guess I get a pass on that question. Okay, let me just revisit 7 for a second. I have received a couple of free items from Cleona Cosmetics in relation to a little bit of a mix-up on shipping of a shadow, and ended up getting a couple of extra shadows, which I just considered good customer service. Did it give me a favorable attitude toward the brand? Maybe a little bit more favorable even than I had before? Probably. I wouldn't say no to that. But I don't think it's enough for it to have a material difference in how I'm going to view and evaluate every shadow or item that I get from the brand. So I think from that perspective, I'm still in the clear. But I make no mistake on this. Anytime anyone receives a gift or an offer from another party, we do feel obliged and obligated to that party in some way, shape, or form. It's called human nature. Even something, a gift as small as a pen that a doctor receives from a pharmaceutical company, can have an impact on his or her prescribing behavior. So I'm very aware of that and keep myself in check and ask myself repeatedly if anything that I've received for free is impacting my view of the brand, the company, the product itself, and I try to mitigate the unfortunate bias it creates by default. And to say, for someone to say, oh, I'm unbiased, I'm unbiased. No, no, no. We have to recognize our blind spots. So I'm trying to pay attention to what would constitute a blind spot, whether I want to acknowledge it for myself or not. Number 8, have I ever initially liked a product when I reviewed it and then changed my mind but didn't let my audience know? That doesn't tend to be the case. If you're familiar with my Battle of the Brands, I take months. If I have somewhere between 10 and 20 items of a given category, like I've done brow products, setting sprays, volumizing sprays is coming. It's coming. You know what? I'll put the Battle of the Brands playlist right here so that you can see just the top of my head. I just, for some reason, can't think of them. But I really, really take my time. They are never, ever first impressions. And so I tend to have lasting impressions for the brands when I talk about them, because when you use a variety of product for 3 months, you tend to get a feel. So you're past first impressions, you've used each one at least a handful of times, if not, 20 to 30 times. And you get a pretty good idea of what you like and what you don't. Have I had some major changes in opinion? I think that the only time that I've ended up liking a product that I said I didn't like is because I changed the application of it. One I can think of is the Joe Fresh Illuminating Primer. I was using it on its own and then putting the foundation on top and then the powder and all that stuff. I started mixing the illuminating primer with the foundation and whatever foundation I'm using, and I like it a whole lot more. And so sometimes it's just changing the application that changes the perception of a product. But if you're like me, if you start using a product in one way and you don't end up liking the result, why wouldn't we try to use the product in a different way? And I find that that works just great. So did I not let the audience know about how I feel once I changed the application? I guess that's the case, but the update kind of happens when I use the product again on camera and talk about it. But then again, you would see it's a different application. So I don't know, potato, potato. We're human. Our minds evolve, and our habits and uses for different things evolve as well. So I guess it's fluid. Let's just call it fluid. Number 9, an influencer I don't trust. I'm going to make a blanket statement. Anyone who does reviews that are actually first impressions, don't care. I will trust reviewers who have used the product a number of times before deciding what they think of the product. A first impression is a first impression. I did one first impression of products I received for free from Shoppers Drug Mart, and if I have a card for that, I'll put it here. And it was okay. It was good. It was okay. But I did mention a couple times, first impression, first impression. I'll see what I think over time. But I was just curious to know what the free products were like, right? And discovering them with you, basically. But yeah, I don't tend to do that if I'm wanting to give an idea of whether someone should purchase a product or not. Yeah. So in short, anyone who does first impressions by default and calls them reviews, I don't trust. I want to know how long somebody used the product, and based on the amount of usage they've done, then I am more likely to believe and trust their review. And I just think that first impressions are just not a good impression to go by to go and purchase a product. And when it comes to eyeshadow palettes and that kind of thing, actually most products, I wait for it to have been out for a long time before I actually purchase it. I want lots of people to be showing me they use it a lot. It shows up in their shop, their stash. It shows up over and over in the makeup, in their description. I want to see someone use it a lot. Seeing someone use something over and over tells me a whole lot more than them telling me they like it. Okay, so while number 10 is the influencers I trust the most, I don't mind talking a little bit more about specific names in this case. I'm going to say C Cosmetic Chaos, I trust quite a bit. Jen Loves Reviews, I trust quite a bit. I don't know too many people who for sure try products for a long time before making up their mind. Jessica Braun, I also think does a good job. She doesn't tend to use the same types of makeup that I like. So except for maybe base products, I find that there's not too much in her reviews that I can use. Our tastes are just very different, but she's a solid reviewer as well and very practical. I like that about her, very practical. And Jen Loves Reviews too, very practical. I'm trying to think of anybody else that I really trust. You know what? I'm going to say Kara C. I like her approach. She's no BS reviewer. She'll tell you what she thinks, why, have the rationale, and I like hearing from her the kinds of things that she uses over and over again. Yeah, I would put her in that same boat as well. All those channels will be in the description box that I just mentioned, just because, you know, space. Number 11, secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. I don't show what I do with my hair, ever. But I have very limited hair styling abilities. So yeah, I don't show anything that to do with hair, and I don't tend to show anything to do with nails except for choosing a different color. So I don't show those things on camera. I show pretty much everything else. On a regular basis, I'll show eyeliner application and mascara application and lipstick application, that kind of thing. And I've done a lot of makeup application on camera, and I'm not a makeup artist, but I've done a lot of get ready with me's and a lot of looks on camera. I've scaled back a little bit from that, at least for the time being, but yeah, I don't think there's anything really that I don't show. Well, you know what, I don't think I've done a morning skincare routine, night skincare routine where I actually show the application, kind of an get unready with me. Maybe I should do that. If you're interested in seeing skincare in the morning and skincare at night, just leave me a comment, please. And that is something that I would consider doing. And well, another one I mentioned was the hair removal. I haven't done that, and I have asked you already if you would want to see it. So let me know in the comments below. Number 12, have I ever shown one product but was actually using another? I have something to show you. This is my Bible. Never mind the logo. It's a book. And I write, so let's take a look at today. I have written every single thing I use today. Every single thing. So I use about a page per day. Morning skincare, makeup, evening skincare, hair care, nails. I write everything that I use before I put it away. So, well, sometimes I've put it away already, but it's the stuff I always use all the time, so I know what the list is, and I remember because I just put it on. But yeah, that is how I keep track of how many days I've used things, if I've been doing a challenge, how long it takes me to use up a given product, samples that I've finished. I write everything from what I finished to what I put on my face to the palettes in the summary box, the palettes that I used that day, the main products I use that day, so that I can very easily, when it comes to a video, let's say I film a week before, I can go back on that date and write down exactly what it is that I was wearing. I'm not guessing ever. And I put everything that is on my face from morning skincare to the moment of the video in the description box. So you can always see what it is that I'm wearing. So I have a pretty strong system for giving you information on what it is that I was wearing on a given day in a given video. Caveat, who knows? I may have made a mistake somewhere. I'm not aware. Number 13, have I ever not disclosed a sponsorship? Really easy. I haven't had sponsorships. So no, I have never not declared a sponsorship. Number 14, have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? Not yet. As far as, I'm guessing it's as far as sponsorship. I'm thinking as a customer, no, I can't think of any of a bad interaction with a brand at this point. Have I been disappointed with credits and that kind of thing, but nothing that I would say was egregious, or, you know, sometimes you just, your nose is a bit out of joint for something that happened, but nothing serious at all. Number 15, we're getting there, hang in there. Second last question. Have I ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? There is a herd mentality, people. We cannot kid ourselves. We are influenced by other people, and the popularity of a product will swell based on communication, the number of times you see it, the number of times you hear about it. And you can hear positive, 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 even if that message is somewhat false for whatever reason. That's why it's so important to know if somebody's speaking positively about a brand is whether they've received it for free, whether they've been paid to talk about it, and that's why disclosure is so important. But when you hear over and over and over and over again that a brand is really good, it does tend to influence your beliefs. It just does. And same thing with it. There's something that you've been really enjoying and a bunch of people start poo-pooing it. You start second guessing your judgment. You can. Not that you're going to change your mind, but you do second guess yourself a little bit. What have I seen it in? There's been more recently some more poo-pooing of Urban Decay. I'm a big fan of Urban Decay. Does it make me mull over what I think of Urban Decay as a line? Sure. I mean, I will question, think about it. And, well, if you're curious, bottom line, I really do like Urban Decay, and especially the one that's been poo-pooed recently is that Heavy Metals palette from Holiday 2018. I love it. I really do. And so and every time I use it, I'm thinking, why are people so unhappy with this product? But it's still, you do tend to question what you think because other folks don't think the same. But I have certainly had some palettes that I use that I love that folks think are terrible, and I'm just happy to keep using them. But I'm sure that the herd influences my thoughts, whether I'm aware of it or not. Again, human nature. I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, and we can be influenced. Otherwise, marketers would not have a job. Last question. We made it. Here it is. Things other creators do that get on your nerves. I don't like getting badgered to subscribe. And I did that. I am guilty of it at the beginning of the channel, but I never, ever, ever liked asking for it. I don't want to ask you to subscribe. Yeah, I know that you understand there's a subscribe button. You can choose to click it if you want. I have changed my behavior to putting a little arrow, I think it's down here, a little arrow that just reminds you that if you want to subscribe, you can. It's very discreet. It's on the bottom corner. Not a problem. That's more the way I roll. I'm happy with that. You decide what it is that you want to do. You do you. And I'm good. I don't like to be badgered to subscribe. I'm an adult. I know how YouTube works. I know how to subscribe. Yeah. that's pretty much it. And I do curate my subscriptions pretty heavily, and I think that's a good thing to do. You don't want to litter your subscription feed with everybody's channel. At one point you just get noise and not necessarily what it is that you want to watch at that given time of the year, or that time in your life or whatever. I do appreciate every single subscription I get, but it drives me crazy when a certain amount of a video is used to bark at me to subscribe. It drives me crazy. And I don't like rambling. I don't like somebody spending 15 minutes to talk about something they could have spent 2 minutes talking about. So that if a video is not edited down to remove some of the unnecessary wandering through the desert, I get a little bit irritable. Especially when I tend to edit down my videos. I really don't like it when other people don't, because I feel like they're wasting my time. Now, if it's a chatty get ready with me, that's different. I sign up for it. I can see already it's going to be 40 minutes, no big deal. Otherwise, it wears on me when folks ramble. And with that, I will stop rambling. I have finished the questions. Very big thank you to Mel Thompson for creating this tag. I like it. I think it's a good tag, and I tag you to do it if you haven't already. I will leave it at that. Let me know what you think down below about my answers. Do you like some? Do you not like some? Why? I would love to hear. For now, I'll say thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.